My name is Isaiah Beatty, and for my multimedia project for History 2020, I have chosen the development of the atomic bomb. And so, what is the atomic bomb? The atomic bomb was a very powerful weapon, only used twice from the United States government at the end of World War II, and it would use nuclear reactors and nuclear fission and all these other reactors and fissions for the nuke to actually explode. And due to all these elements, it would leave behind a very deadly radiation that could affect an area up to 70 to even 90 miles. And who developed it? It was a development of the Manhattan Project. President Franklin Roosevelt, he ordered this in order to fight back other invaders of the country. And the work was done in Los Alamos, New Mexico. It was pretty much put in play by physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer and other notable scientists. And here's a list of the scientists. So Oppenheimer, he was known as the father of the atomic bomb. He was in charge of the whole entire operation and project, and his only hope was to be the very first country to actually develop the atomic bomb. Edward Teller, he was the first recruited for this project. He would design the hydrogen bomb. Without the hydrogen bomb, it was needed for the nuclear reaction. So without the hydrogen bomb, there would be no nuclear reaction for the bomb to even explode in the first place. Leo Szilard and Enrico Fermi, they were both known for the development for the nuclear reactors. Once again, without the nuclear reactors, there would be no nuclear bomb. And finally, Ernest Orlando Lawrence, he was the program chief. He was in charge for the development of the electromagnetic process of separating uranium. Without uranium, the bombs would not be as big as they were, so they would be pretty much just like dynamite. And why did we develop the bomb? We developed the bomb because word Nazi Germany and many other foreign countries already putting these bombs into play. And so Albert Einstein got word of this, and he was persuaded by an anonymous person. It was never made clear who it was. He was persuaded to report a letter to President Franklin Roosevelt about Germany's advances on these bombs. And the exact date for the Manhattan Project, it was not ever made clear, but the creation of the Office of Scientific Research and Development was dated back to December 6, 1941, so many speculate that this is when the Manhattan Project began as well. And the dropping of the atomic bomb. So, following the passing of Franklin Roosevelt, his vice president, Harry Truman, was sworn in as America's 33rd president of the United States. He would end up ordering the dropping of the bombs on the two biggest cities Japan had, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the reason why he would decide this is because Japan was unwilling to surrender in war. And so Hiroshima was one of Japan's largest cities at the time. On August 6, 1945, little boy was dropped on the city of Hiroshima, and on impact, it killed more than 80,000 people, and an estimated 20,000 more would die from radiation and or homelessness. And Nagasaki was not the original target. It was Hiroshima and the city of Kokura. But due to all the smoke from the first nuke from Hiroshima, we were unable to locate Kokura at the time. So we went with Nagasaki due to the fact that it was closer and was one of the largest cities Japan had at the time. We would end up dropping the nuke called Fat Man on the city, and it would kill more than 40,000 people on impact. And here's a couple pictures of the city. So first we have Hiroshima. You can see just how devastating the destruction was. All the trees, the buildings. You can see the smoke just behind the horizon of the mountains. And here we have Nagasaki, and Nagasaki looked a lot more destructive. It was one of the largest nukes we had that was dropped. You can see all the buildings, the trees. You can see the top right corner, just how much smoke actually came off from this nuke, the power lines, and you can see the smoke just behind the horizon of the mountains as well. And so the aftermath of dropping these two nukes, Little Boy and Fat Man, on August 15th, 1945, Japan's Emperor Hirohito, he would announce that his country would be surrendering due to these nuke attacks and devastation upon its cities.